feel it when I'm next to you. It's taking over me, yeah. I want it.
It's only been 6 months, so I don't really know yet. And I'm excited to discover it. But I just, it gives me even more like, it's interesting. It makes everything less important because at the end of the day, what's more important is my baby. But at the same time, because nothing's really important, it makes me feel like stronger because nothing's a big deal. You know, we have this saying in English, we say like, in America, we say like, I don't give a fuck. And when you don't give a fuck is when you do the coolest stuff. You know, it's when you're cool, when you're like, no pressure, when you're not nervous about stuff. That's how I feel. Absolutely. Especially after touring while pregnant and giving birth, which are like, it gives a new sense to the word feminism for me. I understand why we need it even more than ever. Like what we go through as women, like carrying a child, giving birth, it's so difficult and so beautiful at the same time. It's such a unique experience. Like I understand why women need to be protected. We have to be like, we have to be put on the pedestal and respected because it's so hard what we do. It's so hard. And even if you don't have a child, like just getting your period every week, every month and being in pain, like you have to show up to work. Like we have, they don't like you have to go through it to understand it. And I think we deserve more reverence for doing that and functioning in society at the same time. So I wrote the song before I knew that I was going to work with Luedji. I wrote the song because I was expressing how I felt in the moment. I really felt, I've been with my husband for a long time and I've been feeling I was ready to have a child. We were talking about it. I also wanted to do it for a long time, but I always kind of put my career first. And I was at this place in my life where I was like, no legal, fuck it. Like, like you said, like, it's just that. It's never the best time, and it just felt like the right time, and I wanted to talk about that. It's also what motivated the song is, you know, the Supreme Court in the United States made abortion illegal. They've removed it from the Constitution, and that was just such a crazy time for women in the United States who have those beliefs, who believe that we should do whatever we want with our bodies. So I decided to write a song about that, but I didn't want to make it political. I just wanted to reclaim our bodies in a sexual sense, like in a way. So that's what the song came from. And Luedji was somebody I wanted to collaborate with for a little while, and I thought that she would be perfect. I was wondering what song could be good for her. And when I looked into her story a little bit more, she's a mother. She shares a lot about this feminist agenda as well. And I thought that that's what would be perfect for her and for her voice too. Yeah, I mean, I found that, you know, I really like Brazilian culture. People feel very approachable, and I feel like it's easy to feel like you're friends with somebody, even though you haven't spent much time with them. And that's something that you guys have here that's like so warm and welcoming and open, and you know, it's true, like Brazilians have that reputation, but it's true. It's so friendly and warm and smiley, you know. So I'd love to spend more and more time here, and eventually, like, yeah, why not do a whole album in Portuguese, like, or just collaborations with more Portuguese artists, Brazilian artists, like, you know, there's no limits. But what I feel and what I want is that for this to just be the beginning of something for me here in Brazil. I listen to more, I mean, in terms of my influences, it's mostly rooted in old school Brazilian music, like
Bossa
60s,
Nova.
70s, or like, yeah. But, and then when I call it funk, I mean, like, you know, like funky stuff, like the bass lines, like Cassiano, and like, you know what I mean? And Sergio Mendes, like all these, like they have such funky bass lines, and I feel like that music is influenced by American funk and R&B, and vice versa. Like, for instance, I love Earth, Wind and Fire, and like a lot of the horn lines in Earth, Wind and Fire are inspired by Brazilian music, and vice versa. So there's already a conversation that's been going on between American soul music and Brazilian music. There's something like about the soul that comes from the same place. So I feel like it would be just a very natural progression for me to collaborate with more musicians here. No plans yet, but it's going to happen, I think. I would love it. On my next trip to Brazil, I have to go to Salvador.